tell you the truth, we are headed to a situation that looks like a lockdown. And so, when we have such information, we are going to water down the effects of these issues because we are aware of us, because these are not small matters. So, friends, we have the opportunity to make plans to be secure because we can forego traveling and moving from one place to another. But the issue of food is a very significant matter. Friends, these are issues that we should look at because I assure you, this is where we are headed. And the Lord has actually told us in Matthew 24, verse number 8, that all these are but the beginning of sorrows. So wars are going to increase in intensity as we move forward. Diseases, pestilences are going to be on the rise. But we must be tough. We must be strong to stand in the times of trouble.
I looked pretty healthy on the outside, but this scan revealed I was a heart attack waiting to happen. I stepped on my Hume Health pod, thinking I could.
Daryl, thank you for saying that part about the energy, because sitting here with you, there's a real palpable energy that you give off and that I'm getting whisked away in the current of the energy.
Yeah, channeling Bashar for 40 years has made a difference in terms of the electromagnetic field around my body, which every time he comes through extends and is of a certain frequency that people can pick up on and attempt to match so that there is more coherence between him delivering and you receiving.
Rather like a tuning fork.
Exactly. So he's inviting you, and because when I get into a state where I'm sort of flowing, my energy does something similar, and if you match it, then we're resonating.
Beautiful.
You know,
and you also, I have to say for the audience, shape-shifting. Like I was looking at you and you were talking about Bashar, and then all of a sudden there was just a lot of energy coming off of you, and then you almost were just sort of becoming something else.
Yeah, people will see that sometimes. It's like an overlay.
An overlay, exactly. Yeah. So anyway, thank you. I was starting to feel like, oh gosh, maybe you're overheating. For you, what gives you, Daryl, your highest excitement? What is the thing in life where you just go, yeah, that's my jam?
Creativity. I have been in the film industry for quite some time. My wife and I made 3 independent films, and now we have segued into doing an escape room in the Calabasas area. Providing environments and stories that allow people to experience something they otherwise cannot experience on a daily basis is exciting to me. To provide environments that challenge them, that change their perspective, that allow them to experience something that they wouldn't necessarily have imagined was possible to experience. Plus, the idea of being in an escape room is kind of like allowing customers to be in the movie. And they can experience a story from beginning to end by actually acting it out in a way. It gives them an opportunity to learn to look at things, problem solve in different ways than they otherwise might, to communicate in ways they otherwise might not. And so it really expands a person, and it's fascinating to watch how people change or what they reveal about themselves psychologically in an escape room. So it's been an incredible experience for us managing the games as well, hopefully, as those playing the games.
I noticed that about you and Erica. I noticed, obviously we were there to beta test it, but you were very interested in how we were responding,
Yeah.
how we were reacting. And it makes me think about that quote I read of yours that said, there's always an alternative.
Mhm.
You just need to look for it.
There is always a path that works for you, uniquely you. Everyone has their way of doing things. That's why a lot of people get stuck because they've been trained to think, I can only do this in one way. But there's always a way that works for you that is in alignment with your passion. You just have to use your creative imagination and find it, or even invent it if it's not something that already exists. So the thing I like about the escape room and telling stories and films and books is it expands people's imaginations, that it gives them an opportunity to consider a different way of looking at a reality.
It's so beautiful. It's such a beautiful metaphor, and putting people in that immersive experience rather than watching a movie and being, watching it but not being in it.
Right.
So, do you remember the moment that you and Erica said, let's?
Yes, because we realize that in this day and age, unless you're Steven Spielberg, it's not that easy to make a living making independent movies.
It's even easy to make the movie itself. Forget
Not
about
easy for that. Yeah. A good experience, a good learning lesson to do that. But then we were looking around, like, what else can we use the same here, right? And we were talking about this with a friend, and the friend said, why don't you look into escape rooms? And we said, what's that? And creating environments. So we decided that this is where
when you stay in the vibration, as was just illustrated before, when you stay in the vibration that is representative of your holistic excitement, even if only not represented at that moment, by staying in that vibration, you will receive the understanding, the inspiration, and the knowledge to let you know the difference.
And that negative ego isn't going to trick you at that point because you're staying in the vibration. So it can't come in and kind of, pretend that it's something that it's, how it tricks you and kind of works around with your.
Well, if you say that that's what happens, then that's what's going to happen.
Okay. All right.
Because you have a belief that it can trick you. Let me put it to you this way, because this goes hand in hand with this concept of protection. The best protection is not needing any. Do you understand? Allow your vibration to know that the idea you have just expressed has nothing to do with the definition of the vibration of your excitement. How could the definition of your highest excitement contain the idea of the negative ego tricking you?
Yeah.
That is absolutely a non sequitur idea.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah, I do.
Thus then, if you still find that by following your excitement, because as was pointed out, it does bring up the things that are not representative of that vibration, to bring them to your attention so you can transform them. If it does bring up that scenario, the idea is that thus then is an opportunity to stay within your excitement by having that aspect of your belief system revealed to you by your excitement. So, even though it may come up that it appears as if your negative ego has quote unquote tricked you, by staying in the appropriate vibration, by staying in the preferred vibration, it actually won't have the effect of tricking you. It will just be brought to your attention that you have the belief that it can. And thus then you'll be able to deal with it from that energy. You will not devalue that as a choice, and you'll be able to simply choose what you prefer by staying in that balanced energy. It will just come to you as a concept, not as an effect in your life.
Okay.
You understand the difference?
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Does that help?
It does. And
Do you think I'm tricking you?
no,
Oh, well.
no, you're not, because I don't contain that in my belief system.
Yes, all right. Thank you.
One of the things that you mentioned before, I think in Vortex Vibrations, about the Vesica Pisces
Yes,
from Mount Shasta, Sedona, creating right over Area 51.
yes.
Are there attributes of that Vesica Pisces that we are tapping into or utilizing in this transformation? And is there the same scenario out here on the East Coast? Is there that same kind of grid layout over here?
Yes,